Senate will come to order. Looks like we're a little light, but senators will be in your seats and the clerk will call the roll.
Alley. Argabright. Billinger. Blasey. Blue. Bowers. Bowser. Clays. Clifford. Corson. Dietrich. Erickson. Fagg. Fauskido. Francisco. Gossage. Haley. Hill. Holscher. Klemp. Cluse. Masterson. Miller. Murphy. Owens. Peck. Peterson. Petty. Rose. Reichman. Schmidt. Schallenberger. Shane. Starnes. Sykes. Thomas. Thompson. Titus. Tyson. Warren.
Senators and guests, please rise and give prayerful attention to our guest chaplain, Dr. Calvin Lewis. He's from Sunflower Missionary Baptist Church in Leavenworth, and he is the guest of Senator Klemp.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we come before this governing body today with humble hearts, seeking your wisdom and guidance as we begin this Kansas State Senate session. Grant in this chamber today a spirit of cooperation, clarity of minds, compassion in their deliberation, decision to craft policy that bring peace, prosperity, and a steadfast shared commitment to justice and the common good of all Kansans. May their action be respectful to one another while they serve the people of this populous state and honor the trust placed in them. We ask for the courage to lead with conviction, setting aside our differences to seek the best for the future of Kansas. Bless all who serve here. May your spirit of peace and unity prevail. In your name we pray. Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On a point of personal privilege, Chair recognizes the senator from Finney, Senator Clifford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you and everyone else in the chamber. It's a pleasure to introduce first my grandson from Oklahoma City. If you'd stand, this is Mason Burkett. He's 12 years old in 6th grade, and he's done a fine job today. Let's give him a little hand. Mr. Chairman, may I speak again?
Yes, you're recognized for your point of privilege.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to introduce in the East Gallery the Real Men, Real Leaders group. They'll stand as I introduce them. We have Tadeo Lopez, Angel Ruiz, Adrian Ortega, Javier Garcia, Nolan Ryan, Yandel Villegas, William Sisney, Carlos Castillo, Jordan Schaefer, Damian Flores, Josiah Rojo, Jacob Acevedo, Adrian Aguilera, Julian Murillo, Julian Eichhorn, Noah Lopez, Isaac Aguiano, and Yahiro Moyatana. They are accompanied by adults Reynaldo Mesa, Jonas Cruz, Tim Sperry, Edgar Mesa, and Robert Acevedo. Mr. President, Real Men, Real Leaders is this organization dedicated to teaching leadership concepts to male youth grades 5 to 12 in Finney County, Kansas. The core areas of focus include leadership, communication, organization, and personal management. Over the past 5 years, 250 boys have participated in the program. For our ladies among the Senate, just in case you're concerned, recently we launched our first girls program, selecting 14 girls in the 5th and 6th grade from a pool of 53 applicants. It's an intentionally a small cohort, but we expect rapid growth, and to secure stable funding will be essential to support the expansion. Our participants have obviously come to the Capitol to meet the governor and visit with us. They also take hunter safety classes, and 75 boys have qualified for a lifetime hunter certification. They also volunteer at many of our community activities, and they're a well-known presence around within Garden City. So I'd like us to give a great Senate welcome to real men, real leaders. Gentlemen, welcome. Mr. President, I ask that my remarks be spread across the journal.
So ordered. And for those of you who don't know, Ray, used to be former representative in the House of Representatives that we serve now. He's investing in these guys now, so honored to have you guys here. Second privilege, Senator from Miami, Senator Shane.
Thank you, Mr. President. PowerCat Motorsports, the Kansas State University Society of Automotive Engineers Formula Race Team, has proudly represented the state of Kansas and Kansas State University since 1997 in Formula SAE, the world's largest and most prestigious competition to fully design, manufacture, test, race, and present a fully functional open-wheel, open-cockpit race car. The PowerCat Motorsports team represents a multidisciplinary effort that develops tangible workforce skills while tasking its members to bring Kansas ingenuity and work ethic as they push the limits on design. In 2025, the PowerCat Motorsports team made the cut to be one out of 108 international teams to compete at the FSAE Michigan competition out of more than a total of 700 active teams in Formula SAE competition. The team's car was extraordinary and performance exceptional, with the team placing 4th overall in this prestigious international competition. With us today from the team are Tyler Carlgren, Carter Seigan, Elena Dill, Tyler Weber, Austin Mengi, and Brady Shanklin. Would the Senate please rise and give a warm Senate welcome and a congratulations to the PowerCat Motorsports team.
Welcome to the Kansas Senate. Next point of privilege, Senator from Wyandotte, Senator Haley.
Thank you, Mr. President. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you and to our members. Point of personal privilege today, Mr. President, I have the pleasure to introduce a special guest that I have today, my youngest son, Dawson Spencer Haley, and his longtime partner, a dear friend like a family to us, Tiffany Tan. They're just visiting during spring break. They're both in Lawrence and just come to see us. Have not been back for a while, so they came to visit us today. Glad to have them here. I'd like to be on the journal, if I can, Mr. President.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Senator from Johnson, Senator Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. President. We talk a lot in this body about patience and legacy, and there's nobody on this earth that exhibits more patience than a person that has to deal with me on a regular basis. My wife is here today of 23 and a half years, along with three of my 5 children, 15-year-old Elena, 11-year-old Reagan, and 7-year-old mini-me, Henley. So I'd like to welcome them to the Senate.
You'll notice nobody pushed back on that. We have some pages. If you stand, if you have pages, we'll recognize. Senator from Shawnee, Senator Schmidt.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today we're joined by Krista Dickman. Krista, if you could stand briefly. You guys might want to sit down for this one. Krista I'm excited. First off, she signed a contract and is going to be joining the U.S. Army in about a year and a half as a combat medic. So I'm ecstatic for her. I tell everyone to join the military, and she actually decided to before I got the chance to counsel her. So I'm very excited about that. Krista is one of 11 children. She's a senior at Topeka High. And because she doesn't have enough to do, she also works nights at Home Depot. And she's getting certified as an EMT at Washburn Tech right now. So she's going places. Keep an eye on her, and I'm excited to have her here with us today. Thank you.
Senator Barton, Senator Blue.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today I have Jace. You want to stand? I have Jace Uphoff from Pratt. And those of you who don't know, Pratt is a long ways away. So he came in last night and got to experience, I hope, did you end up going to the pennant today? I hope so. And went to, did the top of the dome and everything. So everybody, please give him a warm welcome to Jace. Thank you.
Senator from Cloud, Senator Bowers.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have siblings today, brother and sister from Concordia, if you can all stand. I have Benjamin, he's age 13 and a 7th grader in Concordia. Then we have Verity Elstrom is their last name. She's 15 and she is a freshman from Concordia. We're having a great day. Thank you, kids.
Senator from Leavenworth, Senator Clem.
Thank you, Mr. President. So today we have a Paige Spencer Duncan, if you'd stand for a second. A freshman at Lansing, he sang for us, if we remember, the group that came in from Lansing to sing. So he is not going to sing a cappella today, solo, but we'll leave that alone. And then also one quick fun fact, my mom, who had 3 decades of teaching, taught her his dad. So let's welcome Spencer. Jason.
For your help today.
Sorry, Mr. President, it's Jason. I had it wrong. Thank you.
Please note references of bills on page 1 and 2 of the calendar. Messages from the governor. Clerk will read.
To the Senate of the State of Kansas, submitted herewith for confirmation by the Senate are appointments made by me as the governor of the state of Kansas pursuant to law. Laura Kelly, governor. Attorney Rep, Kansas Human Rights Commission, Harold Shorn. Laura Kelly, governor.
This constitutes introduction of that appointment previously read. Messages from the House. Clerk will read.
Announcing passage of Senate Bill 358, Senate Bill 396, Senate Bill 427, Senate Bill 473. Announcing passage of Senate Bill 321 as amended, Senate Bill 361 as amended, Senate Bill 382 as amended. Also passage of Senate Bill 366 as amended by House Sub for Senate Bill 366. The House non-concurs in Senate amendments to Sub HB 2250. Request a conference and is appointed Representatives W. Carpenter, Bryce, and Ruiz S. as conferees on part of the House. The House non-concurs in the Senate amendments to House Bill 2413. Request a conference and is appointed Representatives Humphreys, Williams L., and Osman as conferees on part of the House. The House non-concurs in the Senate amendments to House Bill 2507. Request a conference and is appointed Representatives Kessler, Schmo, and Meyer as conferees on the part of the House. The House non-concurs in the Senate amendments to House Bill 2568. Request a conference and is appointed Representatives Kessler, Schmoy, and Meyer as conferees on the part of the House. The House non-concurs in the Senate amendments to House Bill 2605 and request a conference and appointed Representatives Francis, Essex, and Helgerson as conferees on the part of the House. The House non-concurs in Senate amendments to House Bill 2652. Request a conference and is appointed Representatives Humphreys, Williams L., and Osman as conferees on the part of the House.
This constitutes introduction of those bills previously read. Please see the March 17th journal for notice from USD 434 to dispose of a school building. We're now ready for final action. On this roll call, we will take the following. 2 bills on the consent calendar, House Bill 2511 and 2519, and Senate Bill 415, 513, Senate sub for House Bill 2099, House Bill 2471, 2533, 2615, 2622, and 2761. Clerk will read the titles.
House Bill 2511, an act concerning wildlife and parks. House Bill 2519, an act concerning the Kansas Open Records Act. Senate Bill 415, an act concerning the Residential Landlord and Tenant Act. Senate Bill 513, an act concerning child care subsidy. S-Sub House Bill 2099, an act concerning the disposition of state real property. House Bill 2471, an act concerning roads and highways. House Bill 2533, an act concerning health professions and practices. House Bill 2615, an act concerning roads and highways. House Bill 2622, an act concerning municipal lease purchase agreements. House Bill 2761, an act concerning health professions and practices.
Clerk will call the roll.
Alley. Argabright. Bellinger. Lazy. Blue. Bowers. Bowser. Clays. Clifford. Corson. Dietrich. Erickson. Fagg. Falscadeau. Francisco. Gossage. Haley. Hill. Holscher. Klemp. Cluse. Masterson. Miller. Murphy. Owens. Peck. Peterson. Petty. Rose. Reichman. Schmidt. Schallenberger. Shane. Starnes. Sykes. Thomas. Thompson. Titus. Tyson. Warren.
Has every senator had an opportunity to vote? Does any senator wish to explain their vote? Senator Johnson, Senator Holscher.
Explanation of vote, please.
Yes, proceed.
I vote no on sub for HB 2099. From the debate on the floor yesterday, there's nothing that would prohibit this land from being used for either a for-profit prison or data center. The people of Leavenworth County have been explicitly clear in their opposition of core civic or other private prisons reopening or expanding in their area. Additionally, in light of very recent concerns brought forward on data centers concerning water usage and increased utility rates, this body should be more closely examining the topic versus hastily helping push forward the development of these facilities. The passage of this bill, which is especially vague and without guardrails, could directly aid for-profit prisons like Core Civic, which prompts me to vote no.
Senator Shawnee, Senator Schmidt.
Thank you, Mr. President. If I could change my aye to no on S-Sub HB 2099.
So ordered. Senator from Sedgwick, Senator Miller. Could you repeat your vote? Senator Miller, they had a question on your vote. Could you just please repeat your vote?
Yes, Mr. President. I voted no on S-Sub HB 2099 and aye on the balance.
Thank you, sir. Senator from Sedgwick, Senator Clays.
Thank you, Mr. President. I vote yes on Senate Sub HB 2099 because it is in a floodplain and will not be used for a prison or a data center. Thank you.
Would you like your remarks spread on the journal? So ordered. For the changes. Senator from Leavenworth, Senator Clemp.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to add my
Join the remarks.
appreciation to.
Yeah, join the remarks of the Senator from Sedgwick.
Thank you, sir.
So ordered. For the changes or explanations? Seeing no one further seeking recognition, Senator from Sedgwick, Senator Faustido.
I'd like to change my aye vote on 415 to nay.
So ordered. Final call. Seeing none, clerk will close the roll, tally the vote. $37 having voted in favor and 3 opposed to the passage of Senate Bill 415. 39 in favor, 1 opposed to 513. 37 in favor, 3 opposed to House Bill 2099. 40 in favor and none opposed to the passage of House Bill 2471, 2511, 2519, 2615, 2622. 38 in favor, 2 opposed to 2533, and 38 in favor, 2 opposed to 2761. These measures having received the required constitutional majority are hereby declared passed. Chair recognizes the Majority Leader from Sedgwick, Senator Blasey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate resolve itself in the Committee of the Whole for consideration of bills on the calendar under the heading of General Orders.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Chair appoints the Senator from Miami, Senator Shane, to preside over the Committee of the Whole.
The Senate, having resolved itself into the Committee of the Whole, will now consider those items listed on the calendar under the heading of General Orders. We will now turn our attention to HB 2763. The Chair recognizes the Senator from Johnson, Senator Gossage, to explain the bill and to adopt the committee report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move we adopt the committee report.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried. You may proceed.
Mr. Chair, in the Senate Public Health and Committee, we received 4 compact bills this year. This is one of them. This is brought to us by the Board of Certification of Athletic Trainers. It passed the House 116-0 and the Kansas Chamber. It would enact the Athletic Trainer Licensure Compact. The purpose of the compact would be to facilitate the mobility of the interstate athletic training practice and the goal of improving public access to services, achieving a number of objectives that reduce administrative burden, increasing availability of licensed athletic trainers, as well as cooperation among member state licensing bodies. And with that, I will stand for questions.
Are there questions for the Senator from Johnson? Seeing none, you may close.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that when the committee rises and reports, it reports House Bill 2763 favorably for passage.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. Motion carried. We will now turn our attention to HB 2647. The Chair recognizes the Senator from Leavenworth, Senator Klemp, to explain the bill and to adopt the committee report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that we adopt the committee report.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried. You may proceed.
House Bill 2647 allows the Kansas Department of Transportation to install fiber optic infrastructure within state highway right-of-ways, and make that infrastructure available to broadband providers. By coordinating fiber installation with road construction projects, Kansas can expand high-speed internet access, especially in rural communities, while reducing overall deployment costs. This bill leverages existing transportation corridors to support economic development, education, healthcare access, and connectivity across the state. I stand for questions.
Are there any questions for the senator from Leavenworth? Seeing none, you may close.
Mr. Chair, I have an amendment on this bill.
Have you turned it in?
I have.
What's the number?
I don't know.
We'll hold while you look for that number.
4361.
Do you want to have your amendment explained, or would you like to read it?
Explained will be fine.
You may proceed.
Having it explained will be...
You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a short amendment. It basically, one of the things that came up in discussions was competition, and this is just making it clear that there is no intent upon the state to compete against businesses in the state.
Are there any questions on the amendment? Chair recognizes the senator from Douglas.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So my question for the senator from Leavenworth is that, is it also his understanding that this conduit would be available to any broadband service that would like to apply and pay for the use of that conduit to install fiber optics?
Senator from Leavenworth.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That is correct. That capacity is available.
Senator from Douglas, do you have a follow-up?
Thank you. That is my understanding, that this is the installation of the conduit, not the fiber, and just allows a variety of companies to use that conduit, which is more easily located in our highway right-of-way than it might be across private property. Thank you.
Are there other questions for the senator from Leavenworth? Seeing none, you may move your amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As KDOT installs conduit to support advanced transportation technologies and intelligent transportation systems, this bill allows us to maximize that investment. I move my amendment.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. We are back on the bill. Are there any further questions for the senator from Leavenworth? Seeing none, Senator, you may close.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As KDOT installs conduit to support advanced transportation technologies and intelligent transportation systems, this bill allows us to maximize that investment. It authorizes KDOT to partner with internet service providers by leasing available microduct space within the conduit, particularly along our right-of-ways. House Bill 2647 also establishes a broadband revolving fund, ensuring that revenue generated is reinvested into maintenance and future expansion. In short, this bill leverages what we've already been building to deliver great value for taxpayers, expand access to broadband, and position Kansas at the forefront of both transportation and technology. I move that when the committee rises and reports, it reports 2647 favorably for passage, as amended.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Motion carries. We will now turn our attention to HB 2412, Chair recognizes the senator from Johnson, Senator Warren, to explain the bill and to adopt the committee report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move we adopt the committee report.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. You may proceed.
Thank you. So back in June of 2024, then a 4-month-old child was permanently disabled as the result of negligence of 2 daycare providers. The child was in an infant seat and was swaddled and had rolled over unbeknownst to those charged with the care of the child. And the child suffered from some hypoxia, which permanently has disabled the child in many difficult ways for the family. So one person was sentenced to 60 days in jail for charges of aggravated battery and aggravated child endangerment, and 2 additional counts of child endangerment and possession of marijuana and paraphernalia. The other one was spent 30 days in jail for 3 counts of child endangerment. So considering the severe consequences to the child and to his family, it seems those sentences were very lenient. So what the bill does is it doesn't create any new crimes, it doesn't expand definitions of neglect, doesn't alter child welfare removal standards or criminalize those with lower incomes. What it does is it makes a measured adjustment within existing law by recognizing developmental reality. Those under 6 years of age are in a peculiar, unique, vulnerable circumstance, unable to escape dangerous environments. How does it address those? It strengthens accountability. It does so by making endangering a child under 6 a felony. It increases felony severity levels when young children are exposed to dangerous situations, including drugs and paraphernalia. It enhances penalties when bodily harm occurs. It requires consecutive sentencing for aggravated endangerment of children. And it explicitly addresses exposure to environments involving methamphetamine and fentanyl. So these changes are needed to protect some of our most vulnerable. And with that, Mr. Chair, I stand for questions.
Are there questions for the senator from Johnson? Seeing none, you may close, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that when the committee rises and reports, it reports House Bill 2412 favorably for passage.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries. We will now turn our attention to HB 2393. The chair recognizes the senator from Butler, Senator Fagg, to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. HB 2393 would extend the judicial branch surcharge on various docket fees through June 30th, 2030. The surcharge on the docket fees received are deposited into the State General Fund. The bill would also make technical changes by removing outdated statutory references and effective dates. This comes over from the House in a bipartisan support. There is no opponents, or neutral testimony provided. I stand for questions.
Are there any questions for the senator from Butler? Seeing none, you may close.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that when the committee rises and reports, it reports substitute for House Bill 2435 favorably for passage.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. We will now turn our attention to HB 2702. The chair recognizes the senator from Johnson, Senator Gossage, to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. House Bill 2702 was brought to us by the Kansas Academy of Physician Associates, and the proponents include the Kansas Medical Society. Passed the House 120-2. It would amend the Kansas Healing Arts regarding practice protocols and provides collaboration between the physician and assistant or associate, and clarifies that those two terms mean the same thing. It's just a clarification bill regarding those codes. And with that, I'll stand for questions.
Are there questions for the senator from Johnson? Seeing none, you may close.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that when the committee rises and reports, it reports House Bill 2702 favorably for passage.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. We will now turn our attention to HB 2323. The chair recognizes the senator from Johnson, Senator Warren, to explain the bill and to adopt the committee report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move we adopt the committee report.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I think a focus of a lot of our session has been deterring fraud. Fraud creates more expense for businesses. It impacts families' wallets and pocketbooks, and increases the cost of living in Kansas. So what this bill does is it creates the ability of the Department of Insurance to prosecute civilly insurance fraud. Insurance companies currently are required to report cases of suspected insurance fraud to the department. The department, in fact, last year received 1,377 insurance fraud referrals from insurance companies. They then investigate those and refer some, based on investigation, to the Office of Attorney General. The Attorney General can prosecute those criminally. And so last year, the Office of Attorney General accepted 26 cases for filing of criminal charges, and a large percentage of those individuals were convicted criminally of insurance fraud. What we don't have is the ability to prosecute on the civil side of things some of the insurance fraud. For instance, you've got insurance to cover the loss of your mobile phone. You call in your insurance company and say, I've lost my phone, and you get paid your insurance proceeds. Well, then the insurance company investigates and they see, lo and behold, calls are coming from that same mobile phone in the same location as where you live, and they suspect fraud. Well, those types of cases are the cases, for instance, that with this bill, the insurance department could prosecute on the civil level, meaning if you're found to have been liable for civil fraud, for civil insurance fraud, you would face a penalty of up to $10,000 for each act of insurance fraud. Those funds would be paid to the state general fund. You could also be ordered to pay back the money, the proceeds, back to the insurance company. And you could also be ordered to pay the reasonable expenses and investigation fees incurred by the department to have investigated the fraud. And how this would happen is the department could institute a civil action either in the county in which the defendant lives or where the alleged fraud is to have occurred. You would have to be proven liable with clear and convincing evidence, and the commissioner would have to plead the specific facts of the fraud: time, place, who, where. And so it would help decrease insurance premium costs and help make Kansas more affordable. With that, Mr. Chair, I'll stand for questions.
Are there questions for the senator from Johnson? Seeing none, you may close.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that when the committee rises and reports, it reports House Bill 2323 favorably for passage.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. We will now turn our attention to HB 2579. The chair recognizes the senator from Leavenworth, Senator Klemp, to explain the bill and to adopt the committee report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that we adopt the committee report.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. You may proceed.
House Bill 2579, as amended, would designate as the private Michael E. Gerber Memorial Highway a portion of K-49 in Sumner County from its junction from West 119th Street to its junction with US 160. I stand for questions.
Are there any questions for the senator from Leavenworth? Seeing none, you may close.
House Bill 2579 is a simple but meaningful measure to honor a Kansas hero. This bill designates a portion of K-49 Highway in Sumner County as the Private Michael E. Gerber Memorial Highway. Private Gerber gave his life in service to our country during the Vietnam War. This would be his 50th anniversary. And this designation ensures that his sacrifice and the sacrifice of so many is not forgotten. As we approach the 50th anniversary of his death, this is an appropriate and timely recognition. Mr. Chair, I move that when the committee rises and reports, it reports House Bill 2579 favorable for passage.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. We will now turn our attention to HB 2737. The chair recognizes the senator from Jackson, Senator Bowser, to explain the bill and to adopt the committee report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move we adopt the committee report.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. House Bill 2737 passed the House on a vote of 110 to 14. This bill is about local control, voluntary agreements, and protecting taxpayers from risk. The bill creates the Taxpayer Agreement Act, which provides an alternative methods for cities to finance economic development projects eligible for tax increment financing, or TIF, through voluntary agreements with property developers. Again, the bill simply allows an agreement between a city and a developer when public infrastructure is financed using bonds. In other words, the developer agrees contractually to contribute funding towards the infrastructure improvements necessary to make the project successful. This financing ensures the taxpayers are protected and the developer has skin in the game. Kansas House Bill 2737 is a common sense bill that gives our cities a reasonable tool to promote economic development while protecting taxpayers. It modernizes Kansas TIF law and enhances the current TIF process. This approach brings three important benefits. First, greater transparency. These agreements are negotiated openly and tied directly to the project being built. Second, greater accountability. Because the developer is voluntarily entering into this agreement, they share the financial responsibility for improvements that make this project possible. And third, greater flexibility for local communities. Every Kansas town and city is different. 2737 allows local leaders to craft solutions that fit their economic development needs without forcing them into a one-size-fits-all solution. This bill does not mandate anything. Again, it's voluntary, and it simply gives local governments another tool in their TIF toolbox, one that encourages investment while respecting taxpayers. Economic growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens when we create an environment where communities and private investment can work together to revitalize neighborhoods, build new businesses, and create jobs. The bill brings private money, more private money, and less public money for economic development. The states of Mississippi, Missouri, Indiana, and Ohio already have this law. Oklahoma, Colorado, Pennsylvania, and Tennessee are debating it now. The Senate committee amended the bill to address some concerns. There were no opponents. I'll stand for questions, Mr. Chair.
Are there questions for the senator from Jackson? The senator recognizes the senator from Barton, Senator Blue.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to reiterate the chair or the carrier of the bill did a really great job explaining the bill. It's another opportunity for cities to have more tools in their toolbox for economic development. Economic development is not a cookie cutter situation across the state. Large areas, urban areas are able to utilize different tools while rural areas are utilizing other tools. And so with that, I just want to say I strongly support this bill, and I'm glad that we're hearing it today. Thank you.
Are there other questions for the senator from Jackson? Seeing, the senator recognizes the senator from the chair recognizes the senator from Sedgwick, Senator Faustido.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So if the senator could just clarify the financial aspect of this extended TIF initiative, so it kind of leaves the city out of that payment piece. If he could just clarify of, I think some of the cities said that it would alleviate them from a lot of additional processes. And so if he could just speak to the financial piece of it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator from Jackson.
Right, and thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for that question from the senator from Sedgwick. She's also on the committee, and she did some great work there. Again, this bill simply, the city, the municipality would act as a conduit between kind of the bondholders and the developer and the city.
Are there other questions for the senator from Jackson? Seeing none, Senator, you may close.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that when the committee rises and reports, it reports House Bill 2737 favorably for passage.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. Motion carried. The chair recognizes the majority leader from Sedgwick, Senator Blasey.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move the committee rise and report.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. Motion carried.
Clerk will read the committee report.
On motion of Senator Blasey, the Senate resolved itself into the Committee of the Whole for consideration of bills on the calendar under the heading of General Orders with Senator Shane in the chair. Recommended, House Bill 2763, House Bill 2412, House Bill 2323, House Bill 2579, House Bill 2737 be amended by the adoption of the committee reports and the bills be passed as amended. House Bill 2647 be amended by the adoption of the committee report be further amended on motion of Senator Klimp and the bill be passed as further amended. House Bill 2393, House Bill 2702 be passed.
Chair recognizes the senator from Miami, Senator Shane, for adoption of the report.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move we adopt the committee report.
For the motion, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Reports adopted. Reports of standing committees. Clerk will read.
Mr. President, the Committee on Local Government, Transparency, and Ethics recommends House Bill 2539 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. Mr. President, the Committee on Education recommends Senate Bill 517 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. Mr. President, the Committee on Education recommends House Bill 2485 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. Mr. President, the Committee on Transportation recommends House Bill 2553 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. Mr. President, the Committee on Education recommends House Bill 2402 be amended by substituting with a new bill to be designated as Senate substitute for House Bill 2402 and the substitute bill be passed. Mr. President, the Committee on Commerce recommends House Bill 2739 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. Mr. President, the Committee on Commerce recommends substitute for House Bill 2346 be passed. Mr. President, the Committee on Financial Institutions and Insurance recommends House Bill 2591 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. Mr. President, the Committee on Financial Institutions and Insurance recommends House Bill 2497 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. Mr. President, the Committee on Financial Institutions and Insurance recommends House Bill 2703 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. Mr. President, the Committee on Commerce recommends House Bill 2700 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. Mr. President, the Committee on Commerce recommends House Bill 2602 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. Mr. President, the Committee on Agriculture and Natural Resources recommends House Bill 2462 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. Mr. President, the Committee on Assessment and Taxation recommends House Bill 2440 be passed. Mr. President, the Committee on Financial Institutions and Insurance recommends House Bill 2515 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. Mr. President, the Committee on Assessment and Taxation recommends House Bill 2644 be passed. Mr. President, the Committee on Assessment and Taxation recommends House Bill 2769 be passed. Mr. President, the Committee on Judiciary recommends House Bill 2747 be passed. Mr. President, the Committee on Judiciary recommends House Bill 2521 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. Mr. President, the Committee on Judiciary recommends House Bill 2537 be passed.
On an agree to disagree, Chair recognizes Senator from Sedgwick, Senator Erickson on HB 2004.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate adopt the Conference Committee report on House Bill 2004 to agree to disagree and request a new Conference Committee be appointed.
Heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Second conference on part of the Senate. Chair appoints Senator from Sedgwick, Senator Erickson, Senator from Reno, Senator Murphy, Senator from Johnson, Senator Holscher. Consideration of motions to concur or non-concur. Chair recognizes Senator from Sedgwick, Senator Peterson on SB 321.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate non-concur and House amendments to SB 321 and request the Conference Committee be appointed.
Heard the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Chair appoints as conferees on part of the Senate. Senator from Sedgwick, Senator Peterson, Senator from Leavenworth, Senator Klemp, Senator from Johnson, Senator Corson. On a motion to accede, Chair recognizes Senator from Montgomery, Senator Peck, for House Bill 2507 and House Bill 2568.
Thank you, Mr. President. To make two motions or one?
You may make them in one.
All right. Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate accede to the request of the House for a conference on House Bill 2507 and 2568.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. This conference on part of the Senate. Chair appoints Senator from Montgomery, Senator Peck, Senator from Cali, Senator Alley, Senator from Douglas, Senator Francisco. On a motion to accede, Chair recognizes Senator from Johnson, Senator Warren on 2413 and 2652.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate accede to the request of the House for a conference on House Bill 2413 and House Bill 2652.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Chair appoints Senator from Johnson, Senator Warren, Senator from Pottawatomie, Senator Titus, and Senator from Johnson, Senator Corson. This conference on part of the Senate. On a motion to accede, Chair recognizes Senator from Johnson, Senator Gossage on 2250.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate accede to the request of the House for a conference on House Bill 2250.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Conference on part of the Senate. Chair appoints Senator from Johnson, Senator Gossage, Senator from Finney, Senator Clifford, and Senator from Johnson, Senator Holscher. On a motion to accede, Chair recognizes Senator from Sedgwick, Senator Peterson on 2605.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate accede to the request of the House for a conference on House Bill 2605.
Heard the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Conferees on part of the Senate will be Senator from Sedgwick, Senator Peterson, Senator from Leavenworth, Senator Klemp, Senator from Johnson, Senator Corson. Before recessing, are there announcements? Senator from Harvey.
Thank you, Mr. President. Attention shrimp peel fans. 8 days from today, March 25th, we will have the annual shrimp peel that supports the Kansas Special Olympics. We will definitely need your items for that auction to be turned in over the next few days. So if you have items you'd like to contribute, that would be greatly appreciated. What would be even more appreciated is that you show up with your wallets fat and your willingness to support the good cause of the Special Olympics. Little side note, if I might add, 4 years ago, I had the opportunity to buy a 1 ounce gold bullion at Spot. That has turned out to be a great investment. So there might be other additional great investments at the shrimp peel this coming next week. So please join me and your other colleagues. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator from Lynn, Senator Tyson.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Senate Tax Committee will meet tomorrow approximately noon after the Ways and Means Committee in 548. We'll continue the business that we started today. Thank you.
Senator Sherman, Senator Billinger.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Ways and Means will meet tomorrow upon recess before lunch, and we meet in our regular committee room. Thank you.
Majority Leader Blasey.
Thank you, Mr. President. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm going to save everybody the the burden of having me to read off 60-plus bills. That's going to be on the general orders tomorrow. But you should get those either in your email or there'll be public announcements here shortly. Senate Republicans, however, will caucus in our usual room immediately upon recess, and I yield to the Senator from Douglas.
Senator from Douglas.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Senate Democrats will caucus upon recess in room 287 North, and again tomorrow morning at 8:30, again in room 287 North. I yield back to the Senator from Sedgwick.
Senator from Sedgwick.
Thank you, Mr. President. So the Senate's going to recess here as we head to caucus so we can continue to wait for bills to be read in to the Senate. If you are a chair, I would ask that if you give the reviser permission to turn them in on your behalf to the Senate Secretary, just to expedite things, so we can ensure they're read in for the Senate's consideration. And then we'll come back after caucus. The leadership will to adjourn, but there'll be no other business here on the Senate floor today. Also tomorrow, Senate Republicans will caucus in the morning at 8 o'clock in our usual room, and we will break for a very brief lunch. I know there's some, I think, committee meetings or something happening over lunch, but the Senate will briefly break for lunch, so everybody can plan for that. And with that, Mr. President, I move that we recess until sound of the gavel.
For the motion, all in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. We are recessed to the sound of the gavel.
Senate will come to order. Reports of standing committees, the clerk will read.
Mr. President, the Committee on Agriculture and Natural Resources recommends substitute for HB 2114 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. Mr. President, the Committee on Public Health and Welfare recommends Senate Bill 522 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. Mr. President, the Committee on Judiciary recommends House Bill 2651 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. Mr. President, the Committee on Federal and State Affairs recommends House Bill 2018 be amended by substituting with a new bill to be designated as Senate substitute for House Bill number 2018 and the substitute bill be passed. Mr. President, the Committee on Judiciary recommends House Bill 2527 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. Mr. President, the Committee on Judiciary recommends Senate Bill 478 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. Mr. President, the Committee on Judiciary recommends House Bill 2613 be amended and the bill be passed as amended.
Chair recognizes Majority Leader from Sedgwick, Senator Blasey.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I move the Senate adjourn until 10 a.m. on Wednesday, March 18, 2026.
For the motion, all in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We are adjourned.